Well, day two of the Cup of Nations, day one in Group B, and Zambia and DR Congo face off in the day's first of two matches. Eyes on the prize. It all starts here for these two. Ambitions to go a long way, but these will be two teams among the outsiders to win the trophy overall, though Zambia, of course, with 8 of these players, were champions in this country only 3 short years ago, under then the French coach Hervé Renard. Egyptian referee with his final checks, waiting for the exact second here to get this game underway, so people around the world can enjoy this first game of the group. And look at the crowd on the far side, still streaming in. It's a near full house. Atmosphere is terrific. The colour is great, the noise as well. Let's hope the game can live up to what surrounds it. So Zambia's start, Group B begins, and these two nations kick off their campaigns. It's going to be a long haul to reach the final, of course, with these two, but this is, in theory, the easiest side of the draw. In this side, there's no Ghana, there's no Cameroon, no Algeria, no Cote d'Ivoire, so there is a chance, Matt Jackson, here for these two to go at least a long way, at least to the semi-finals, perhaps.
Yes, I mean, they'll have looked at the draw, they'll have certainly taken some sort of favour from that, but have to focus on this first game. I've already mentioned it, how important it is, set the whole tone of your tournament, get the players playing well, and actually take the most from the atmosphere here, because it is smashing up, just colour everywhere, such a good feeling around the place, the noise is fantastic, and that will only inspire the players.
Zambia here with the throw-in. As I say, both these teams in the last Cup of Nations out with 3 draws. Zambia haven't lost a game since the 2010 Cup of Nations. Here's Kalaba with the ball in, and punched away by Kidiaba. Great effort, oh, what a start! What a start! Given Sangaluma for Zambia, inside 62 seconds, it's a flying start.
Well, set the tone of your tournament, get the boys flying. This is really sloppy, funny start for Zambia from the kick-off, just kicked the ball out, but well, if it was part of their master plan, it has certainly helped. One thing for the DR Congo, you have the rest of the game to put it right, but this sets you back, make no mistake about it. Fine finish as well.
When he plays in DR Congo to Sangaluma with TP Mazembe, this is some finish, but the goalkeeper, I'm afraid here, Kidiaba, makes a mess of this.
Yeah, he's relatively brave in the first place, but what he's saying is he's got to have defenders around, but look at the big target there that's available. A fine finish, ball just curled away. Past the despairing dive from Kidiaba. Absolute despair for him.
Given Sangaluma 62 seconds, Zambia 1, DR Congo 0. What a start here by the Chipolo Polo. Here's Mbakani for DR Congo. Big, tall striker with Dynamo Kiev in Ukraine. Yannick Bolasie. Bolassie's cross. What a chance there for DR Congo, which they don't take, but it's a really open game already here, Matt.
It certainly is. They've certainly taken something from the atmosphere around. Fortunately, the defenders look like they've forgotten how to defend at the moment. That was a good chance, looking like it was going to fall all the way to the far post. Pitch looks lively. That will certainly work against the players slightly, and it may actually have been a factor in the chance not being taken for the DR Congo.
Both teams here have African coaches, the only meeting of the group stage where 2 African coaches will face each other, which is some statistic. Well, the fall here in the squeal of pain from Fermin Ndombe Umbele. Well, DRC are a team who do have a good attacking unit. Maybe defensively, we've seen already, they're not quite so hot. On the throw here is Isama Jos. Now Chancel Mbemba of Anderlecht in Belgium, where he's a first-team regular. Jean Casusula. West Brom's Yusuf Malumbu, the skipper. Isama. Given taken away here. This now is Singaluma. Up it goes to Kampamba. Now Mayukra of Southampton got 3 goals when they won the trophy in this country, 3 short years ago. Now to Yannick Bolasie of Crystal Palace. Bolasie against Nkausu. Bolasie, French born in Lyon, and he's got the free kick here too against Davis Nkausu, one of the survivors from the victors of 2012.
Interesting that Bolasie immediately wants to get at his man. Had a very good season up to this point, made a big impact. Certainly is the creative force in the DR Congo side.
3 goals in 10 prior caps for Yannick Bolasie. Dead ball here for DR Congo to try and use and exploit. In goal for Zambia, the veteran of 6 Cups of Nations, Kennedy Mwini. 10 years in South Africa's top division. In by Bolasie here. Came off a Zambian head too for a corner. Good contest so far. It's got a really good shape and feel, this match already.
It's always interesting to see your reaction to that early goal. For Zambia, do they stick on that and just try and hold out? And how much the DR Congo chase this lead down?
On the corner here is Hervé Cagé of Genk in Belgium. In their Mbakani waits, Cagé with a corner. Turned away by Sunzu. Retrieved by Malumbu for DR Congo. Now Kazusula. Now it's Kondwani Umtonga. Just been playing in the Indian Super League, Umtonga, with North East United in that competition in the autumn. Plays in the Indian Premier League with Shillong Lajong as well. How did DR Congo respond and bounce back from such an early setback?
Well, they have to stick to a game plan. And the goal is a good goal. It's not a tragic state of events defensively. The goalkeeper has to commit himself, so they have to do that. But the key is not to panic. That's really important. So he has to come for that. But then he needs some help from his defenders for sure.
Well, a great start here by the Zambians. As I say, both teams drew all 3 games in the group stage in South Africa 2 years ago, but this one has begun with a really encouraging start for Zambia. How can DR Congo fight back and come back? It's towards Umbele here. Twists and turns with company from the defender Umbola. And the ball in is spilled by Mwini. Oh, what a chance. And Mbakani with a sitter, which he skied. He should have scored, surely.
He should have scored, and it's all about his technique. He's not expecting to get the chance at all. Once again, I mentioned the pitch, and I think that's what creates the problem. Goalkeeper still should do better. Get a little bit lucky down the right-hand side. This is Sama who plays the ball, and it just bounces up off the goalkeeper. It just skips off the turf, really. And you certainly would expect somebody with the quality of Mbakani to rifle that ball home for the equaliser.
Yeah, 12 goals and 25 caps, a player with Dynamo Kiev in Ukraine, and that was a brilliant chance, but the ball came back off Mwini, and it was over the crossbar. Stays 1-0, but the game stays open. It stays really watchable, this. Bodes well for Group B. Here's Singaluma, who has got the goal we have seen today. Held up by Hervé Cagé. This is the team's first meeting in the Cup of Nations since that final of 1974, when Zambia were beaten by then Zaire in a replay in Egypt. Singaluma couldn't combine there with Lungu. Now Chancel Mbemba. Teams have met on a fairly regular basis down the years. The last 10 meetings have gone the way of Zambia. No DR Congo win since 1989, when again they were known as Zaire. 7 of the 10 have been drawn. Here's Malumbu. Mbemba. This is Joel Kimwaki, one of the home-based players in this DR Congo team. Malumbu. Now Kazusula. Bit of space here now for Isama to work in for DR Congo. Towards Mbakani. 19. There is Nathan Sinkale. He'll be the more defensive midfielder in the unit for the Zambians. There he is. Another of the survivors from their only Cup of Nations success in this country under Hervé Renard. Singalum, who missed that Cup of Nations. This is his second, though he's not played the last two. His only Cup of Nations came in 2010 in Angola for Zambia. They, like DR Congo, are fairly regular qualifiers. At 17 now for Zambia, 16 for DR Congo. Two of the stronger nations in the competition down the years. Here's Yannick Bolasie. Change of pace, change of gear. Good run, Bolasie, the cross in towards Kage. And Moeni's handling this time is rather more secure.
Yeah, still a slight bobble. Bolasie just showing raw pace, and it's great when you do that early on to a fullback, because it puts in his mind that he has to adjust his position if you're going to run him. That's likely to mean he'll stand off you. And for someone like Bolasie, with his ability, he can dictate play in other ways than passing the ball, having the time to pick out his own colleagues, or running down the middle of the pitch, cutting inside, where you get that chance to shoot as well.
Anyuka went down. He says he was pushed. Only one start in Southampton in the Premier League in his 2.5 years now with that club. Bolasie here shows that, as Matt says, raw acceleration.
And it does get to the goalkeeper, obviously, originally, but what that tells you centre forward is if I'm in those areas, you get yourself across that 6-yard line, because you will score goals eventually. You keep going in there. Certainly Mbakani's not going to take too many invitations to keep going in there.
Push here seen by Sinkala. Free kick to DR Congo. Mbakani, former Standard Liège and Monaco striker. Has a pretty impressive CV, Mbakani, but he's hadn't missed the best chance so far. This is Kalaba. Mubele chasing here for DR Congo, but just runs away. The pitch does look hard, it does look bobbly.
Yeah, and there's been very little play, has there, through the central areas so far. No one in the midfield areas has really dictated play in those central areas of the pitch. Sometimes you've got to do that, as we've seen the long ball so far. Fine to stretch the opposition early on, to test out the centre halves and see if there's spaces behind the fullbacks. But ultimately, it's easy to keep possession by popping the ball around, giving yourselves good, easy options.
Both teams had an eventful qualifying campaign. Zambia finished second to Cape Verde in their qualifying section. Only lost one game away to Cape Verde in Praia. DR Congo qualified as the one best third-place team across the groups. They had a remarkable win away to Ivory Coast 4-3 in October, which was really the springboard for their qualification. They were in a tough group there with Cameroon as well. It was arguably on paper the toughest group they had there, with both Ivory Coast and Cameroon in the same pool. Qualified as the best third-place team, which edged out Nigeria, the holders who don't play here at this Cup of Nations, which I guess makes this a wide open one too, given that Ivory Coast now, no Drogba, are in transition somewhat. Ghana these days post Michael Essien, there's no Alex Song or Samuel Eto'o for Cameroon. It's maybe one of the most open Cups of Nations for a long time, Matt.
And that's what makes it such great entertainment, doesn't it? And all these clubs will have a real belief as well. They can progress a long way. The twists and turns of things like the early goal that we've seen here already can shape the entire tournament from an early stage.
I know many make the Algerians the favourites here. Algeria, of course, had such a good World Cup in Brazil. Got to the knockout phase and pushed Germany all the way. The last 2 Cups of Nations haven't gone well for the North African teams, though. This is Isama towards Balassi. Too long, though, for Yannick Bolasie. Bolassie's shot. There was a tumble here, the challenge from Umtonga. Now Isama's lost out to Kalaba. Away will come Zambia now through Shisamba Lungu. In the way, though, was Mbemba for DR Congo. It's an open match. This is Isama Jos. The cross here deflects, and Mawini this time will hang on there. Maybe a corner given here, though. Ball had just gone across the line before. Mawini got his hands on that.
And the DR Congo have actually reacted pretty well. I'm sure this will have crossed just off the deflection. Very difficult to tell from that side, but this is where we talk about Balassi. He's scared the fullback already by going down the outside. Now he can cut in into those shooting areas. They certainly have a good presence in and around that box, the DR Congo. I expect them to continue to press. Doesn't look like the early goal has affected them too badly.
Hervé Kaja here with the corner for DR Congo. And taken well by Mawini. As I say, it's his 6th Cup of Nations. His debut came over a decade ago now. He does, by the way, take penalties now and again. 2 goals in his 89 previous caps. Scored against Nigeria in the last Cup of Nations, you may recall, here on Eurosport. He is one of the true goalkeeping eccentrics, which we always enjoy, don't we?
Well, they're all eccentrics anyway. And the eccentrics of the eccentrics.
I'm one as well. I play in goal, so...
And that more than proves my point.
It's a good game so far, though. Hope you're enjoying it with us here on Eurosport, part of our 70 hours of live Cup of Nations programming. On the throw here is Isama Jos. Singoluma. Now it's Lungu. Mayuka on the run, on the chase. Gets there too, ahead of Mongongu. And a foul by the Evian defender on the Southampton forward.
And just little pointers that you get in the game. Certainly a good outlet with his pace, Mayuka. He's actually leading the line. Gets himself isolated, skips past the big defender easily, draws a foul. You have to keep doing that. Once you found something that works for you, there was a big space for him to run into as well, an angled run away down the right-hand channel. Once you found something that works, continue doing it, because defenders hate to have players with pace running at them.
Set piece, an area of some threat and menace here for Zambia to DR Congo. 3 players here in discussion on this free kick. Rainford Kalaba, the skipper here, may pull rank on them. Kalaba set.
Looks a long way out. Don't get a real movement on the ball you would expect to score from here.
Lungu also here with the Johnny Wilkinson stance. Kalaba takes. And this one beaten away by Kidiaba.
He reacted well, had plenty of time to see the flight of the ball. Makes a relatively comfortable save. Not entirely sure why he had to punch the ball. That eccentricity that you talk about coming out again.
Well, if they score, look out for the goalkeeper's celebrations. That's all I'll say for now on that one, but he is a character, is Kidiaba. On the turn here, the shot flashes wide again from the Zambians, who are making moments. That was an opening for Nathan Sinkala. Kidiaba turns 39 next month. He says this is going to be his last international competition. Plays with the all-conquering TP Mazembe in DR Congo. This is Mbakani deflection, which takes the ball wide. It could have taken the ball anywhere, that.
It could. I think it's Sun Tzu that it hits. Full flow.
his own player, doesn't it? Comes off his own teammate. Group A began yesterday, of course, here in Eurosport with the draw for the host nation, Equatorial Guinea, in their first match of the competition, held by Congo. Coached by Claude Leroy, who left DR Congo to cross the border to Congo. And Gabon, with maybe a surprise win over the runners-up of 2 years ago, Burkina Faso, to kick off the Group A campaign. This is Chisamba Lungu for the winners of 2012, the Zambians, the Chipolo, the Copper Bullets. And Weni up here now to Kondwani Mtonga. Number 13 there at the bottom of the screen, Stopila Sunzu. He was the man whose penalty won the trophy against Ivory Coast. Lungu. Now Singuluma. Kalaba couldn't quite find the run there from Emmanuel Mayuka.
There's been a bit of a lack of quality with the final ball. Players very quick to try the flicks and tricks, but sometimes you have to just make sure the execution is done perfectly. That incisive final pass, maybe a cross pulled back to a teammate.
Malumbu was rather hesitant. It is 9 years since DR Congo got beyond the group stage. They last did that back in Egypt in '06 when they were beaten by then the host nation, the eventual winners, of course, Egypt, then 4-1 in the quarter-final. Singuluma here for Sinkala. Right there by the defender Kimwaki. Yusuf Malumbu of West Bromwich Albion. Balassi now comes to this right-hand side and tries to make inroads, but Kalaba in the way for Zambia. Again, they look here for the outlet. That is Mayuka.
They have to give him a chance. Got great pace. Mayuka, he'll certainly chase the ball down for them, but have to give him a chance. Not in their best interest to keep continually giving the ball away, and that's what they've been doing for the last 5 minutes.
Kimwaki. Now it's with Mubele. And Balassi just switched flanks for a moment or two. Malumbu. Balassi comes short. He wants the ball now. Has the ball, Yannick Balassi. Out to Isama. Patience here from DR Congo. Plenty of green shirts back there in 2 banks of 4. This is Mbemba. Kazusula. He goes again for the return. And play call back here for a DR Congo free kick. Late challenge seen by the Egyptian referee.
A good refereeing as well. I had a couple of seconds for the play to develop. The late challenge comes in. It's good when the referees don't blow initially. And Kasu has actually been pretty close getting to Balassi so far. He's shown his attacking intent. Not the biggest defensively, but he's certainly lively. Quite like that when the fullback, especially if you want to leave your mark on a winger. He's got away with one, hasn't been booked. Concedes the free kick, but at least it puts something in their head when you're closing them down next time. Gives them something to think about.
Balassi takes the free kick here. And the header behind, I think, off the DR Congo man there under the challenge from Mayuka. It is a goal kick given here by the referee.
Oh, good defending from Mayuka. Expect one of your big centre halves to be in there, but he takes responsibility. Goes and